Hello, it's Tamara Hunter, and today is day number 238 of 365 Days of Awesome. Celebrate success through service. And I talk about either a service hero, I highlight a service hero, or a service concept on this show. And I actually was just doing some filming for Chemo Buddies for Life, the nonprofit that I am the executive director and co-founder of. And it gave me a lot of things to think about. And thank you very much. You are too extremely amazing. Jeremiah Knight, thank you for stopping by. I'm going to talk tonight about let's see here. Okay, Tamara Hunter changes thank you very much every day. Thank you. You know, Jeremiah, I appreciate that. And let me kind of share with you why. When I was, thank you, Chemo Buddies does rock. I agree with you 100%. There is not 1 ounce of my being that doesn't believe that that is the case, because you know what? Jeremiah, this is not a program that I came up with. This was a download. This was completely a download. It is something that is so needed and so much. There are so many people asking for this when they are isolated and alone, that they don't want to feel alone, that they want a friend. They want to have someone in their life and not be afraid. And that's what Chemo Buddies is. I believe it's an answer to those requests. And I'm humbled by being the steward of building it, and so many people like you, Jeremiah, and so many of our friends, and so many people that are becoming aware of us are helping to make that happen too. Yes, it is awesome. Yeah, it truly is. It's mind-boggling. And you know, thank you. Yes. So let me go where I'm going to think. I had some thoughts I wanted to share. Number one, I want to just say how humbled and grateful I am that we right now in the Team Tamara, we are in second place, I think. I don't go and check it very much. I think we're in second place right now. And that's pretty significant, because since, you know, a lot of you know the story that when Sharon was had her situation that took her into the ICU unit, and then she was in the coma, that's when I really went after this and thought, okay, we you know, I made a promise to her, we promised each other that we were going to build this. And there is my buddy. Hello, my buddy. Yes, you know, your struggle is real, and you have brain cancer, and I know it. And you know, this is a real program that allows for us to be together and to be there for each other. And it's so important for us to have humor, hope, and heart. And one of the things that I just filmed about, you'll really get, you know, Mandy Cassidy is awesome, and I believe in her dreams too, and I'm so glad you're here, Mandy. You know, I want to say thank you for the voting, and I want to get to talking with about what Lisa just said. I just did some filming for Chemo Buddies, and I did one of the things. Oh my, Mandy, I'm sorry. Thank you. You know, I'm sorry. My grandfather had colon cancer. And when I talk about the 5 people, 4 generations, and that 2 of them did pass away, my grandfather and my mother both passed away. And it's not easy when that happens. And you are a support buddy, Mandy. And your stepmother, we wash everything through 3 words: humor, hope, and heart. And the heart piece of it sometimes is the hard piece, because that piece, we have that one there because we have to, you know, if you're a believing person or she's a believing person, we've been promised that our days are that we're being watched over, and that there is a grand plan. And sometimes we have to have that in an unconditional heart and be there for each other and show love. And when that is the time, it's not always the time, and that's why service heroes. And let me explain that. The Amy's here. Oh, hi, Amy. Okay, Service Heroes, for those of you that don't know why I started Service Heroes, is because, and I was explaining this to someone today, I've been on the phone a lot because we have a lot of new volunteers and ambassadors coming on board, and they're trying to get acclimated. And if I haven't had my individual time with any of you yet, because there's so many, I am sorry. I'm getting to you. We also have some other really exciting things happening that's going to help us, really help us. And this is where I want to go. And that is, sometimes it's not easy. And I thank you, Jeremiah. Thank you very much. It's not easy when you're going through cancer. And I was explaining that my oncologist had said that, I had a pretty significant amount of side effects, more than a lot, probably, close to like winning the gold star for side effects. Yay for me. Woo, woo, woo. And I was thinking about it later that, and my side effects, guys, were unusually difficult. And I'm not trying to get sympathy here at all. What I'm trying to do actually is 3 words. Remember, humor, hope, heart. Okay, the hope piece. The thought that I had such gnarly, really gnarly side effects, and where it was hard to get through a moment, let alone a minute. A day was way too long to think about. Too long. And what I was talking about with that is that when our buddies are going through the gnarly, it's not easy to go through cancer. It isn't. And having a nonprofit that supports people with humor, hope, and heart that are going through cancer, gee whiz willikers, it's not an easy thing. However, it is totally doable. And that's the thing why I think that I was called to have the side effects that I had, in that, yes, I wasn't facing stage 4. However, cancer is cancer, and the medicine that we are given, sometimes I had a side effect that nearly killed me in my first day of chemotherapy. That's how I met my chemo buddy. I was having a severe reaction. My throat was closing up. People know the story now. My nurses even tell the story on one of the videos in chemo buddies, because it's kind of, it's an urban legend at my clinic now, was that effect, and how it created a movement. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for the side effects. I'm grateful for it because I'm humbled by them. And so when my dear buddy is saying that she's having a rough time, you know what? She's having a rough time, guys. However, with being able to say it, sometimes people think I'm a little brash for, especially being a woman, that I sometimes just say it like it is. Well, you know what? You got to. And if you're having a rough time, you can do that. We call them chocolate days. And I have this journal that I'm now starting to say, hey, we've got a website that you can go and at least sign up now, and you can get your download from the journal. And in there, it has an area that I wanted to talk about, and that is the gratitude piece. We need to be able to remember to have an attitude of gratitude. And sometimes, like in my case, and we have buddies throughout the world, so I want to be really sensitive to that. That is really wonderful and not what we think we're having a rough time here in the United States, someone else, a buddy there may say, wow, that would be like a dream for me. And that would be really bad for, it's all relative is but basically what I'm saying. So for myself, when I was having my attitudes of gratitude to try to get through the moment, not the minute, remember, moment, then what I did through my tears, sometimes I'd be saying things like, I have clean jammies, I have clean pajamas, I have a roof over my head, I have a straw to sip the water that might get through my throat, because I had such chemo sores through my throat, all in my mouth, on my vocal cords. I've explained that before. It was not easy. However, I had clean water and I had a straw. I was grateful for that. I had a pillow, things that maybe a lot of people would take for granted, but others would think you're living like a king or queen. And this is where it's individual. These were my areas and attitudes of gratitude. And they were what got me through the moments where I didn't know if I knew I could get through them, but they're not always easy. And when my buddy was saying brain cancer's not fun, you know what? Most cancers are not fun. And I know what her treatment is, and it's not fun. However, the hope. I was really fortunate to talk to someone yesterday. You know what? I need to see if I can get you in touch with her, buddy. That her sister, and the sister was diagnosed, I believe it was stage 4 brain cancer. And that was a while ago, and she's still with us. She's still there, and she's actually, just going on. Stage 4 doesn't have to be what it used to be. Stage 4, many times we've have people that have been around for a long time, and I'm not trying to represent the medical world. I'm not. That's not my mission. That's not my message. My message, though, is humor, hope, and heart. In the workbook, we have gratitude and we have chocolate days, and I'll be talking about all of those. And so what I wanted to do, because I was thinking about this as I was filming, and I thought about also when people make comments, and I really do look at them and I digest them, and sometimes they stay with me for a little while, and then I come with the light bulb, the opinion that, like, okay, now I need to address this, or maybe I have a solution, or whatever it may be. Someone mentioned, because again, I'm somewhat new to social media, and it's interesting that we're developing a nonprofit that's going to change the world and revolutionize how cancer is done. And I'm the co-founder and the executive director, and I don't know social media at all. I'm learning it. Free from that, I'm learning it. But where I'm going with this, and I'll get to the moral of the story. I came across this picture, and this is not a family member. However, my great-grandmother was a suffragette. Wink, wink. I bet you guys are surprised, right? And I come from that kind of stock. And I actually started thinking about this, and I'm thinking, okay, my great-grandmother, all right, so that's how many generations? My mom, my grandfather, my grandmother. So, it was through my grandmother's line. So 3 generations back. And she's a suffragette. And then I am now inviting people, if I can bring it up to the line, to vote daily for the next impactor online. Think about it. I was really thinking about this with all of it, guys. Spin off with me. Let's do this together. The fact that we are we're able to, without connection, without having have long cords through the airwaves, we are able to touch. We have people voting for basically Chemo Buddies for Life, for me, for Chemo Buddies for Life throughout the world, because we have buddies throughout the world. And we're doing that in 3 generations. And 3 generations ago, my great grandmother was out there looking to have a voice and having the right to raise her hand and say, I vote. I want to vote. And so I was thinking about how the world is changing. So then I went back to what we're doing with Chemo Buddies for Life and cancer, and some of the stuff that I at least have kind of an idea of what's coming around the corner, and some of the hope for it. And I know that it's really difficult to be in clinical trials and to be going through the pain that someone's going through, and yet the hope in it, is that there is hope, that there's an opportunity for people to be able to make it, and we just have to hold on. And when it's gnarly and it's horrid and you just want to have a chocolate day, okay, let's have a chocolate day. You guys want to know what chocolate days are? Really? You want to know? Chocolate days come from when I was a single mom, and many of you know I raised special need children, and when we would have, and someday it will come out in a book. Right now it's going to come out in a chapter. We had some issues, right? We had some issues, and it was not easy. And so every once in a while, it seems so big that we would call a chocolate day, and I would go to the grocery store, and we just, because I wasn't a big junk eater, I didn't believe in it, but I'd go get junk. And they could stay in their jammies all day long, and we would watch movies, and we would just chill. And we would just, if we needed to cry or we needed to chill, whatever it was, we got one day, and that was only once in a while. And then the next day the sun would come up, you make your bed, you get going with life, and you're over. Now, some people don't do it that big, but that long. Our stuff was pretty big, and with special needs kids, it was the right thing to do. And yeah, chocolate. Well, there you go. And chocolate, chocolate days are very therapeutic. And so I actually put them in the journal, the celebration journal, full of love, health, and amazing success. And that is to say that, and where I was going with when I found the picture of the suffragettes, to us voting now, to knowing that we're in clinical trials, and then all the other things that are coming around the corner in the medical world. And I just truly believe that we are a cusp, and I'm hoping that I'm not naive, but you never know how the timing's going to be. But with having the light shine on us, the Chemo Buddies for Life, and being able to have a community of buddies, we're going to be able to unite, and we're going to be able to be for each other, and we're going to be able to, I believe there will be a day where we're going to start seeing more and more where people are going into remission, and we may actually someday be able to say we have a cure. Some of these other diseases that plagued us now have basically been eradicated. I do believe that will happen with cancer. I actually do believe it. I don't know when, but I believe it. So why am I building this so aggressively? Well, because I also believe that trauma and drama of going through a disease and the family stress that it creates does create problems within our cellular levels. And I'm not going to get so deep, but the bottom line here is that we need this community so we can get whole again. That when it's gone. It's eradicated. Cancer is kicked to the curb finally, which we're not into the treatment. We're not going to raise funds for treatment. But when that happens, Chemo Buddies for Life will be here for the new normals, for those that went through treatment, and then for the families and the support people that did support them. And so that then we can help them to become whole and that it doesn't transfer into other things. And I see that as so exciting because you know what we're doing is we're taking the boogeyman away. We're getting rid of that monster under the bed or in the closet or wherever it may be, and we're shining it a light, and we're having it with chocolate. Yes, chocolate days with some humor, hope, and heart. And we're there to listen and to hear. And when someone's having a rough time, like my buddy, to be there to hear and say, you know what, I'm sorry that that's happening. Let's get it's power of the brain. And when I was in so much pain, and I go back to that a lot because I think that the reason that I was meant to is so I could relate. And the way I would get through it is I would put my brain somewhere else. I put my actions somewhere else. That's why we have so many volunteers. That's why we ask for people to get involved and to love others, to get outside of themselves, because oftentimes that helps you to get through a moment in time. And it really works. I know because Sharon told me. Sharon told me it did. And she was absolutely surprised at how well it did work, because she was in tremendous pain, and she would give. She'd give love and humor and laugh, and it helped her to get through the day, and it helped her to want to get to the next day because she wanted to be there for her buddies, for our buddies. And another area of hope that I want to share is because one of my senior advisor that was one of the chief architects with the Americans with Disabilities Act, which was how long ago? Only a couple decades, maybe, I don't know. But cancer didn't have a chair at that table. There were 800 chairs at that table. Cancer didn't get one of them because we really didn't go into remission much. We didn't have the success rates that we're having. Now we have new normals. And so she was so excited about this nonprofit because of the fact that we would be able to help maybe affect some of the things that they weren't able to for cancer. And we'll talk about that at another time. But there's so much hope. There's so much hope. And so just know that. So I wanted to come and say that I am looking for those people that love social media, because I'm looking for volunteers. We are building our volunteer base for Chemo Buddies for Life. And I need some social media people that will want to volunteer. It would be great if they have some kind of association with our cause. However, that's not a requirement, because our ambassadors, we really want them to be able to understand social media is a whole nother beast. And so I do need some help there. So if anybody wants to raise their hand for volunteering social media, I'd love it, because we are touching people throughout the world with Chemo Buddies for Life, and we're doing it through the internet, and we are building right now, even before we get our website built out, because we're growing at such a rate, and we need to be able to do it in a much more effective way. I don't understand Twitter, guys. I don't. Instagram, I still don't get most of it. And so if you are interested in helping, I really am looking for, we have teams now, and it's pretty cool how it's all working. We have team leads, and it's all been kind of coming together. Social media is an area that we do need some help. And so that sounds like some fun. It is a volunteer position. And I would love it, and I'm open to how it looks. If you only have a couple of hours a month to donate, that would be awesome. And I actually can give you tax receipts for your time. So there is a win-win-win here, and you're doing good for people that are going through cancer. So then, this is Service Hero. You can be that service hero that you are inside, the service hero that you have within you, and you can help serve people throughout the world that need to hear messages of humor, hope, and heart, gratitude, and chocolate days. All right. So, what I also wanted to do is let you guys know that I there's an article that is going to finally air this Friday. Mary Parks, I just love her. I love her. She is an award-winning news journalist. Look her up. She's pretty incredible. Met her a while ago, and she actually filmed with myself and my original chemo buddy for life, and got some footage. And then some things happened that in her situation, and so she just had to, she said, someday I'll bring it back out of the can, but right now it's canned. And sure enough, since Sharon is just having some fun, guys, I got a call yesterday that it was time. She was taking it out of the can, and she wanted to get an update on where Chemo Buddies for Life, where we are, and she loves the program. And then she wanted to get an update in regards to where I am with things and building it and our team. And so we're going to get to see it, and I am going to see if I can watch it, because it is through the cable in my general area, and thank goodness it's the cable company I have. So I'm going to see if I can get it going through my computer and do and record it so that we can do a watch party. I love it. And we can watch it and see what she has to say about Chemo Buddies for Life and the next impactor. She was fascinated by it, so she's going to be bringing that up, and I'm pretty excited about that. And then I was approached a while ago, and it's finally about to happen on April the 22nd. That Born to Talk, and I'm excited to go on that radio show. I was just on the show with Jim Grant and Don McGrath from Speakers Pathway Coalition. Their show, I did that, I believe, on Friday this last week. And so what's been happening is that I've been putting in, and the other thing I was going to see is if there's anybody that's interested in volunteering for press releases, because I have a lot of information to get out there. Chemo Buddies for Life, I am in talks right now, and who knows what's going to happen. I've been in talks before, so I'm not going to overthink it yet. But I am currently in talks right now with possibly an organization that may become a mainline sponsor and possibly may become even that much more. And if that happens, that could be extremely exciting for buddies. Extremely exciting for our buddies, because it is all about the buddies. And think of this, guys. This is, I'm going to paint a picture here. I'm going to paint a picture because this is what it's all about. You have cancer. Someone hears those words and they're alone. Let's say it's someone that doesn't have a lot of friends and family, maybe even shy. They living paycheck to paycheck, and maybe not even having their own insurance. This is not an uncommon situation. Now, they are feeling pretty desperate, isolated, and alone. How about them being able to reach out and have a buddy and have a community? And once this is built out, even have more linked into one place that they can go that's easy to navigate to see what is possibly even available for them. Having a community that can serve people that could be at the most desperate time in their life. Let's say that another person hears those three words, they're exactly the opposite social end. They are at the top of their game, so much so that they don't want anybody to know that they have cancer because they're afraid that everything would come, their house of cards would come crumbling down. So they isolate themselves. They don't want to let people know because they've worked too hard to get wherever they are, and they're holding on very tight to it. And so in doing so, they become very, very dark and almost hopeless, because there's no one there that they feel that they can talk to, because they then become almost like distrusting that anybody would tell, and it would expose. There are so many different reasons. Or it could be like me, where I physically was isolated because of the health situation in my own home and in my own health. So I had to go into quarantine for 5 months behind a door, and the only time I could get out of that door was to go to chemotherapy, and no other time. And to go to the door, I had to wear a mask, the robe, and the gloves. This is real. This is real. And we can take that away. We can lessen it for them. We can make it, and so we can help them to see that there is hope. There's humor. Have you had your daily dose of laughter yet? There's humor, hope, and heart. This is real and exciting. And I wanted to let people know that we are going into the next level of building Chemo Buddies for life. And we now have a landing page, or a little bit more than a landing page. And I want people to go there because they can get the celebration journal and register your name and your email address. And so you get notifications as we build out. And if the one group that I'm talking to very much right now, if it goes a certain way, it might happen faster than we even know. But if not, it will happen in perfect timing. I do believe that. But I just want you guys to know that your votes, I've been asking for votes. I have been. But the votes are not for me. Yes, I'm the person that you're voting for. However, you're really voting for Chemo Buddies for life, and for us to get the message out there that there is humor, hope, and heart, that there are buddies waiting for them, for me, I'm a buddy. I'm a Chemo Buddy for life. That there are people out there that are going to embrace those that are feeling isolated and alone, that feel as though they're not understood, that feel like there's no one they can talk to, and that's both the patient and those people that love and support them. So I did want to say this, is that I started with this, is that someone mentioned that they didn't want me tagging them in the morning, and other people do. So if you have a preference and you're here, please let me know. Because I don't want to be offending anybody, and if I'm offending them, that's the last thing I want to do. I want to be serving, not offending. So there you go. Let me know. Okay, so that's what I have to share today, is that there's so many amazing people that are involved in the next Impactor Challenge. I honestly vote for people every day. Yeah, I vote for myself, but I vote for others too. And because it's hard for me not to vote for all of them. And I actually have done that a couple times. Wink, wink. I know it cancels out, but it felt so good because I love what they're doing. Because each one of these people are there, and I'm getting to know them, and they're going to all be service heroes, but they're all there because they do have something significant to share. And I have said it more than once. If you can go and a message resonates with you, and then maybe you can team with them, you can whatever it may be to help them to get that to the next level, I would love it. Also, the nonprofit, I don't have the logo right now, but the Fusion Project, Fusion for Girls, that Team Todd is going to be raising money funds for their nonprofit because they have come up with a program, an after school program for junior high kids, girls, that they have been able now to verify that is helping to teach abilities and skills and knowledge and self-worth and self-esteem and the warning signs, and so that they are not targets for sex trafficking. That is huge. And it is a duplicatable program. It's currently in schools in Chicago, and over the years, more and more schools. Now it can go throughout the United States and hopefully throughout the world so we can eradicate this plague. No one should be held hostage and be a slave. No one, not hostage, but become a slave. No one. And thank you to all of my friends that bring awareness to this. Jody Parr, Rock Against Trafficking, Gary Miller and Jamie Guiley. So many amazing people that are out there on the receiving end and helping those that are recovered to become, to get back into life and be socialized. But let's stop it. Let's nip it in the bud. Let's say no more. And this program is one I'm actually very excited to be highlighting. And so I put it out there today. I did a lot of filming, but I did put it out earlier today that I'm looking for volunteers to help myself and then Team Todd, because that's part of my individual challenge as Tamara Hunter in the next Impactor, and the Team Todd challenge is for us to be able to raise the funds and any other things that we can do to support this nonprofit. I am looking for a team within Team Tamara that will be able to help me to help them, and because it's needed, and in the end it's going to also help Chemo Buddies for Life. So think of it this way: you get a double good deed, bang for the buck, if you will. Wink, wink, in helping. So enough of all of this. I just want to end by saying that kind of come full circle in saying that I truly am grateful. I truly do have an attitude of gratitude, and all of those amazing, wonderful words that go along with it: joy and love, appreciation. I have that for so many of you, the service heroes, those that watch the Service Hero show, my Chemo Buddies for Life, and those people that are also in the next Impactor that are out there helping to make the world a better place. There's so much good going on. So when people like my buddy say that it's not a good thing, it's hard. It is hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, guys. I'm not. Cancer is not easy, nor are other things. Life is not always meant to be easy. However, it's meant to, we have the tools, and we have each other. We have each other to say, okay, let's band together, and together we can make it better. We can find a way to get through this, and we can get to the other side. because we've been given that gift of each other. And it's so important. It's so important for us to have an attitude of gratitude, even if nothing else, you can say, I'm breathing. Everything else maybe seems so overwhelming, but be grateful for that moment in time. I always go back to a story in a very significant book about a person that at one time was in a ditch and had lost everything in their life. Everything. They had been, let's just say, at the very pinnacle of what could be considered successful, and then they lost it all. And they lost all their friends, their family, everything, their possessions, and their dignity, if you will, and had boils and things all over them. And yet they didn't lose their hope. They didn't lose their belief system. And sometimes this story was a story that I kept going back to when a moment was too hard to think about and a minute was just beyond me. A moment was hard enough. I would go back to that story and say, you know, in the end, this person was able to get through to the other side. And they were restored. Yes, I believe this. We need to beat this cancer. Yes, and that word works. We as a team are stronger than cancer. Absolutely, my buddy, I love you. Yes, and we are kicking that cancer power to the curb, and we're doing it together as buddies, hand in hand, arm in arm, digital, eyes to eyes. Because you know what? Our subconscious doesn't know that we're not in the same room. If we're looking at each other through Zoom or through like this, right now you're seeing me, but your subconscious is going to someday maybe question, did you see me in the same room or was it through the internet? We have been given a gift of things like that. When we look at how much of a miracle that is, it's huge. So let's use these tools and build out Chemo Buddies for Life. Let's build out this website that's going to be so incredible. Let's get the teams together. Let's get the sponsors that are going to say, yes, I'm there. Yes, I'll pay for it. Yes, I'll build it. Yes, yes, yes. Because you know what? 1 in every 2 men and 1 in every 3 women will hear those words in their lifetime. You have cancer. As of last year's numbers, American Cancer Society. So with our program, patient, and then those people that love and support them, 1 in every 2 men, check. 1 in every 3 women, or yeah. So the patient, and then 2 friends, check, check. That's just about everybody in the world. So these people that it's nothing for them to say, oh yeah, we can do this. Oh yeah, that's huge. But it's nothing compared to their child, their loved one, someone that they have lost and would do anything to have one more day with. And in their honor, there is someone, a business owner, many of them that can get behind us. And so we can take care of our buddies and we can do things for them that we are ready to do. We are ready to do. We are ready to put, we just need the help to make this happen. We know what we're going to be doing, and it will work because we're doing a lot of it manually and it is working. So be the service heroes that you guys are. Share this with people that you know they can help and that they may have a reason to help. In the name of someone, or in the hope that it will never happen, because there's power. There's power in the heart and mind being in alignment with the body. And it's a miracle what can happen when that happens. And I have witnessed miracles of health before, and I believe in them. I truly know that they can happen. So this program we are going to do. So hang on for the ride. That's why I did the image I did. I love you too, my buddy. I absolutely adore you, love you to pieces. Absolutely, absolutely. To the moon and back beyond. Okay, so that's why I did the thank you to one of my very, very dearest buddies, Mikey Adam Cohen. We've been working on a lot of things together and an amazing impactor. And we we kind of, I'm brave. And we were at a place downtown Temecula that a lot of Harleys show up, and I just saw some really nice people, and I'm like, can I sit on your Harley and get a picture? So they let me. Okay, so it was a great picture to make a point that hold on, guys. I know it's not one of the rocket kind of bikes, but still, you know, think of a kind of thing. I love them. So you think about, we are going here soon, Mach speed, our hair, if we have it, our bald heads, let the wind hit them. It feels good. And we're going to make this happen. And everybody, join us. Join us. Start populating our the website. Start signing up there, because what it will do is we'll be able to then let you guys know when we do have it, where we can build it. It's built out, and so we can start populating buddies, because we're going to have to populate them so that we can match them. So there's a reason that we're giving a really nice giveaway. And look at this. It's over 100 pages. Most people would be selling this thing. It's kind of cool. Actually, people like it. My buddy knows it. She knows this. So anyway, go sign up. There's the website. Join us with Team Tamara. Join us in the effort to get Tamara Hunter, Team Tamara, Chemo Buddies for Life, to win the next impactor. Because if we can win this, think of the resources that we can put towards Chemo Buddies for Life to get it out there to everybody, so that none of these people we talked about, none of the stories we just shared, have to feel alone. Let's get this out there to sponsors. We need mainline sponsors for, you know, there are so many things that we will be doing that there is plenty of goodwill to go along for companies that are looking for an amazing cause marketing situation. Because it's been proven that even if it's their, whatever it is that is their business, they even charge a little bit more if they got an awesome cause. Especially the millennials will go and support them. Let's let it be known, this is the awesome cause of 2019. I am not putting the kind of effort and putting together teams and everything to get out there and get this message out there, even through the next impactor, to not make this the cause, let's make this the cool cause of 2019, because it basically affects everyone. So anybody involved can feel good that they got involved, even if they never have known anybody, which would be awesome for them. Very rare, but awesome. All right. So are we jammed and ready and pumped to go into this next week? Because guys, this week, the goal is we need to get to number 1. And we had a really big push the last few days, because a lot of people with a lot of spheres of influence, you know, said, hey, you know, I'm going to get my people to vote. I don't know that they always understand it's a daily thing. So, you know, then it's a matter of the putting it out there. So I would love you guys, everybody that's voting, do me a favor and copy the link, put a little bit of the reason why you're doing this. And if there is a reason, a person, yourself, someone, put it in there and send it to your friends. Ask them as a favor to you to vote. So we can, I think we've got like 700, if we can have a day like we had this last few days, where we can get like, you know, 700, 1,000 votes in a day, and we can do it. That's really nothing. We can do it. that we would then jump into first place. Then the idea for, I am willing, I'm fearless. I am willing to get out there and do social media, do real. I have been on ABC, Eyewitness News. I've been I've been on Kiss FM. I've been on. I was on Nickelodeon when I was a child. I have no fear in this stuff. I am willing to get out and sing from the top of my lungs, off key, but you know what I mean. That about our cause. I believe people are going to want to hear about the next impactor, which is going to be good for them too. Let's do good for everybody, because everybody involved in the next impactor, all of the impactors will benefit from this, because I am the most inclusionary person that could ever be, that there ever could be, because genuinely I am. That's why Service Heroes, I highlight others, but we got to have the platform to be able to do that. And this we can do. So the idea then is to get on everything. We will get on everything. Yes, Ellen, we will figure out a way to be on Ellen. We will be on a lot of others. So, I know that within the group, we've got people that have 1 degree, 2 degrees, 3 degrees of separation. I know a few of them. And I've been waiting until we can tell a story that they might be interested in that makes sense. And I think that this is a good story with the next impactor, then Chemo Buddies for Life, and then some of the other impactors also in their stories. I think that this could really work, guys. So we need a push, and who's with me? I know you guys have been, and we're going to be pushing a lot. Mach 1. Let's go. Let's go to number 1. Let's do this together, because I know we can. Because it's bigger than all of us. It's bigger than all of us. And the model I keep going to, and I know she doesn't mind me saying it, is when I know that Sharon was able to live so much longer than the doctors ever thought she would because of this program, I know it works. I know it works. So if people can have someone longer and they are happy during that, I mean, there's combination. She was happy. Was she in pain? Yeah. But pain happens. But to be happy, she was happy. I talked to her 2 days before she went into her coma. She was happy and excited that we were doing this. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get into number 1. Let's vote. Let's be grateful that we can. Remember in the beginning, the suffragettes, the thought of being able to vote like this was beyond them. And that story right there also shows that anything is possible for the future. And I believe the cancer will end up being eradicated. However, Chemo Buddies for Life is going to be needed for generations to help to get the generations healthy and going forward in life. And we will be here. I'll be a plaque on the wall, wink, wink. But Chemo Buddies for Life will be here. So we're going to be building something that will be a legacy. A legacy. And you'll be able to say you were involved. So thank you very much for your time. Appreciate all my friends showing up. Appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. Go out and make it a good evening and make it an amazing, awesome week. And don't forget to vote. And if you don't want me to be tagging you, let me know, because I don't want to be offending anybody. That's not the way I work. All right. See you guys tomorrow. Bye. Oh, and go sign up at Chemo Buddies for Life. Don't forget.